From Left Side, Right Side Games, I'm Artie Q. Pebbleton, and this is Chalking Points. This week, it's another set of animals idioms. First off, Andrew writes that he'd like to see an explanation about, I have to see a man about a dog, or I have to see a man about a horse. I love this expression. I think the first time I heard this expression was on the last track of Tom Waits' 1975 album, Nighthawks at the Diner, where he says goodbye to the audience. It's a live album. He says, I think I'm gonna dig you now and plant you later, make like a bakery truck and haul buns. And he ends with, I gotta see a man about a dog. Which, in today's parlance, is a glancing way of saying that you have to use the bathroom. But that isn't what it used to mean. In the 19th century, it simply meant you were going to place a bet on a horse or a dog race, and you didn't want to be too explicit about it. But according to my idioms dictionary, this expression became truly popular in the 1920s, during Prohibition. This won't be news to some of you, but there was a 13-year period in the United States during which the sale and production of alcohol was illegal. During this period, people gathered in secret bars called Speakeasies to covertly purchase and drink alcohol, which was either smuggled into the country or illegally produced in secret distilleries. Or bathtubs. Lots of people participated in this underground drinking culture, and it had an enormous effect on American English. Think about it. If you and your friends habitually got together to do something that could get you arrested, you'd have had to have developed slang to talk about it. In this case, see a man about a dog is a euphemism, which is when you replace a socially unacceptable phrase with a phrase that has more pleasant associations, like pass on instead of die. So in the 20s, people used to say they were going to nip off somewhere to have a secret drink by saying, I have to see a man about a dog, or I have to see a man about a horse. It was a way to excuse yourself from the room. After liquor became legal in the US again in 1933, its use was revised and refined to mean I have to leave for an unspecified but probably embarrassing reason. Thus, people now say it when they have to use the bathroom. We've got time for another one. Beth writes that she'd like to know the origin of raining cats and dogs, and I'd be happy to oblige. It's similar to raining buckets. Now, for years, I understood this idiom to come from the pioneer West in the United States, when American settlers built their little houses on the prairie out of sod, which is basically just hard-packed dirt and grass. The way I understood it was that a family's animals would sleep on the roof at night, and if they got caught in the rain, the sod would get wet and turn to mud, and the animals would, fall through, raining cats and dogs. Let me state, emphatically and repeatedly, that this origin is made up and incorrect. We know the actual origin, in fact, and it is just as fanciful as this made-up explanation, but a lot grosser. This expression comes from 17th century England, when the streets were tangled and racked with garbage and debris. When it rained hard, the overtaxed sewer system would back up, and the streets would run black with rivers of filth. Unfortunately, this would also include the corpses of street animals, which floated by, giving the impression that they'd fallen from the sky, along with the rain. Oh. That's actually really awful, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Oh, jeez. Well, you know what always cheers me up? Bears. Bears and top hats. I feel better already. Look at that guy, he's so fancy. Thanks for bearing with me. And Andrew and Beth, thank you for your questions. If you want to learn more about idioms just like the ones I talked about today, check out our game, Village Idiom 1. You'll learn all sorts of things about our marvelous language. You can also friend us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or tweet at me. All of that's down in the description. Thanks for watching. Until next time, laugh, learn, light up your language. I'm Artie Q. Pebbleton, and I'll see you around.